Hi guys, and welcome to the Start Your Business, Change Your Life podcast. I'm now the CEO and owner of womenforchange.info, where we help women start and grow their business online. I am so excited to be here again and be on episode 11. Can you believe it? I can't. 11 is a number for me that keeps on popping up randomly. Like, I'm looking at the clock now and it says 4:11. So that's really funny. I always see the numbers 1:11, 11:11, or just some kind of mixture of those numbers. And it goes in sync with today's episode because today we are speaking with the amazing Kristi Shanks. She is going to talk to us about vision boards, getting our mindset right, and all things like, law of attraction and positive affirmations. So if you want to know how to really make your vision boards work for you, or even know what vision boards are, I think you're really gonna enjoy this discussion. Kristi and I are friends, and we've been friends for quite a few years now, so come and enjoy the little chat that we had together. And make sure you check out the links in the description and follow Kristi. She is one to follow. She always posts amazing, great, uplifting content on Instagram, so make sure you do that and enjoy the episode. I'm so excited to be speaking to the amazing Kristi Shanks about everything, but mainly mindset and vision boards, because that is really her forte and her strength and area that she really shines in. So welcome, Kristi, to the Start Your Business, Change Your Life podcast. Woo, fake clap. How are you doing?
I'm well today, thank you.
Great. So do you want to just tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, how you got to where you are today, basically, and then we can go from there.
Well, as you said, I am Kristi of Kristi Shanks on Instagram, Kristi_Shanks on Instagram. I also have a candle business, which is kissedbykc.com, where it's all things pure soy candles, and that's a business I started in honor of my father. And I recently embarked on being a mindset mentor for women who want to start their own businesses, because I feel like a lot of people make up their minds to start a business, but then the fear and all those things set in place and they can't move forward. So I want to help with that because I was that woman. Before I got on my journey for personal development, I was all over the place. Knew what I wanted, but didn't understand why I kept flopping at it. So I just want to share what I've learned from overcoming my obstacles, and let people or women know that a mindset shift can and should occur before you launch your business.
That is perfect. And I'm a big, huge advocate in mindset and wellness and getting that, I wouldn't say under control, because is it ever really under control, but just making sure it's a part of your strategy when you are starting and growing your business. Because like you said, so many people would start a business and then run into the hurdles and trappings of like success or failure, and then they just falter because they haven't got their mindset and stuff in place beforehand. It's really important. So can you let me know, how are some of the ways that you were able to kind of get your mindset in check before or after that you launched your first business?
Well, certainly for me, it was a journey. As I was trying to grow a business, I was also trying to flip my mindset. And actually, I think that was a setback on some levels, only because I started my journey of personal development and personal growth at the time I started my business. So I was that person who had so many doubts and let little things come in and creep in and kind of discourage me or what have you. But I think the movie The Secret was definitely a launching pad.
Yeah.
And then from there, it was like you just keep wanting more and more and more. So books like Think and Grow Rich, surrounding myself with the right people, to really remind me of what I'm learning. So that was the foundation. So as I continued to evolve and grow as a person, so did my confidence, my just everything just got better once I understood who I was and how great I truly was.
Yeah.
So it just made it that much easier. But I say that to say at the same time, will you falter? Will you still have those moments? Absolutely. But the great thing is when you really understand mindset, you never forget, and that is your foundation, and you always go back to it. So I just want to give the tips and tricks and things to keep in place when those moments do come up.
Yeah, I totally agree. One of the big things for people who are starting their own business, which they probably wouldn't even think would be a big thing, but you mentioned surrounding yourself with positive and like-minded people. That is a huge thing that can take people off guard, and it's sometimes your friends and family who are the kind of people who you would expect to have your back and be in your corner, but they may not know it themselves, but their kind of negative attitude is kind of holding you back, or putting some kind of fear in your mind. So what are some of the tools and ideas that you have to kind of, one, deal with family and friends who aren't the most supportive, and two, finding more like-minded people?
Well, for starters, with the whole family thing, some of them we don't choose. We can't pick who we are born into, but you can limit your conversations. You can limit the things that you share with them. And for me, it was really, really hard because, these are people that you love. I mean, you've grown up with them and you have a certain level of respect for them. But what I teach you is that it's okay to be selfish. And people make that out to be, or society makes selfishness a bad thing. But what I've come to realize, that I'm the most important person that I am. I mean, you really are your most important person. And if I'm good, then the people around me are good. Yeah. So if you're benefiting not only yourself by shutting down those negative conversations and just shifting it, you can listen and have a certain level of empathy. But when it starts to affect you, you have to just know that you have to pull out of it. Like, you just have to separate yourself from it and love them from a distance, And when they ask you why you're so happy all the time, you can let them know it's because I don't indulge in negative stuff all the time. You just can't do it. You're not going to be successful if the people in your ear are negative ninnies. That's just not going to work.
Yeah. I know from my experience, I have just, they say, I can't remember what book it was or what person, but there's a few things that hold you back when you're trying to, focus on improving your mindset and your business and stuff. And, gossiping is one of them, and this and that. So there's some things that you can just withhold back from yourself. Like, you can just consciously not gossip with certain people or not do certain things, and that gives you some of the power rather than giving the other person all the power. So I think it's important to kind of reflect on what role you play in the relationship that's making it somewhat negative or not positive. What do you think about that? Yeah.
I agree. I have absolutely have become the master of shutting it down. I will flip a conversation so quick, and by the time that person hangs up, I'm sure they're like, wait a minute, that's not what I called the talk about.
We were gossiping about so-and-so down the street.
Like, hold on one second. And
yeah. Oh my gosh. And then going on to, so stepping away a little bit from family and then going into friends, I know there's people out there who probably have friends who are turned into naysayers, like, oh, why are you gonna, price your things at this price point? I don't think it's worth it. Maybe you should do this. Maybe you shouldn't do this. Why are you doing that? A lot of people have a lot of things to say. What's some advice that you can give to people out there on just having belief in yourself and not listening so much to people who are trying to kind of put you down or sway you from what you know is right? Because I guess there's a fine line between calling someone a hater and then think that they're trying to just offer you good advice or realistic feedback.
Yeah, well, as far as my own, I'll share with you an experience that I had when I launched my candle business.
Okay.
I had people around me that were, just like you said, well, why do your candles need to be put in a box? Or why are you using essential oils? Those don't smell that strong. Or, what makes you think someone's going to buy your product? Like all those things. And honestly, I was in a place of, I wasn't where I am now.
Yeah.
So looking back on those situations, I do know that is why I did not move forward or tout or toot my own horn as loudly as I knew I should when I first launched it. But eventually what I had to do once I started my self-discovery and my mindset shifted is I knew those people were not for me.
Yeah.
Because the conversations never changed. No matter what good accolades I got, those conversations still kept coming up, of downplaying or putting me down. So I had to make a conscious decision to remove those people from my life. Yeah. And that's just the short version of it. But you have to put yourself first and trust your own greatness. And you can't convince people of that. If they don't know, they're never going to know.
Yeah. And so, it's like you said, you changed some things, but the conversations were still the same. So it couldn't have just been, feedback on that one particular thing. If they're coming back and keep on saying the same things, then you've got to kind of give them the side eye, like, okay, well, you just seem like you're not for me. So.
Right. I'm like, oh no, it's okay that all these celebrities or all these boutiques or, clamming down or calling me constantly wanting my stuff, but yet you still have, well, I still think this. It's kind of like, well, you know what? How about you just go over here?
Yeah.
And I'm going to go over there because clearly you are not for me.
Exactly.
And that's okay. I mean, you have to know it's for your own best interest. And maybe that person wasn't a hater, but maybe they were, and I didn't want to risk even
finding out. Yeah, so. Exactly. Perfect. Okay, so now let's get into some things that people might call woo-woo stuff, or things that are like, whatever, that stuff doesn't work, but I know you and I both believe that it does work, and that's vision boards and things of that nature. So when it comes to wanting to create things in your life, new, positive, exciting experiences, and things, a lot of people, including Oprah, turn to vision boards. So can you give me just a little rundown about your perspective on vision boards?
I am a big believer in vision boards, but I do believe that there is so much more to it than cutting out pictures and posting them on a board. I recently did a podcast and a blog about it.
Yeah.
But what I'll tell you is that you really need to understand the universal principles behind it. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is just like the law of attraction, the law of gravity, and law of expectations. There's so many different laws that you have to understand. So for me, vision boards absolutely work 100% of the time, because actually they work before you paste the pictures up if you truly believe it and feel like it's already yours.
Yeah.
So
can we, for the listeners, sorry to cut you off. Sorry to cut you off because...
I'm sorry?
Sorry, I just think a lot of people listening to this are probably very new to vision boards. So can you give us like a quick 1, 2, 3 step into the whole vision board world? Because I guess people don't even have a clue. Some people don't even have a clue about it, full stop. So
Oh, okay.
Let's give them a little rundown. So, like, when it comes to vision boards, what's the first thing that people should know? The first things they should do, and then run down from there.
Well, I mean,
like, what is a vision, or just what is a vision board? Because some people might be like, okay, vision board, what are you guys talking about?
Okay, let me. I'm sorry. Okay, you're right, and that's the thing. Like, I've surrounded myself with people who know.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. We are like.
So what? Say again.
No, I was going to say, because we are kind of. We've been doing this kind of mind shifting work for a while. We just need to reel it back for the people who are like, okay, I'm new here to the vision board world, so let's just explain to them what is a vision board.
So what a vision board is basically a pictorial. It could be a poster board, or you can paste it on your wall. And what it is a collection of pictures of things that represent what you want to have in your life.
Okay.
So you may see a lot of people have them, in their homes or in their businesses, but it's just a combination of things. And it could be anything from a car to your dream car to your dream home. It could be your new body that you're trying to manifest, things like that you find pictures to represent what's the thoughts that are in your head.
Okay.
And you post them up on a board, and it could be, like I said, a paper board, it could be a wood board, whatever is convenient for you, and you just paste those up, and you're supposed to focus on those, or at least have it where you can see them on a daily basis, just to kind of magnetize it to be pulled into your reality.
Perfect. And so then, okay, we've got our magazines or our printouts from online. We've cut them out. We've placed them onto the board. Now what, right? So we look outside the door and the car's there, or not?
No.
Exactly.
No. You know what? What's funny, though, is I thought when I did my first vision board, that is exactly what I thought was going to happen. Mm-hmm. So as I'm cutting out pictures, I was sitting there like, I can't wait till next week, and my new car
is right out there.
But it does not work like that. Like, there's and the other thing is, I created my first vision board, and it wasn't even about me. Mm-hmm. It was more so, how can I impress the people that will see my vision board, because I was proud of it. It was like an art project for me. It was like, ooh, it's so pretty. Look at it. It's so pretty. And there was no substance. There was no true Kristi. If somebody looked at that board and they really knew me, they knew the things that were on there didn't even look like something I would want. So it wasn't even my vision. So that was one big mistake that I made.
And maybe one reason why
that was a flop.
Sorry, I was going to say maybe one reason why it didn't manifest, because if it wasn't, really truly what you wanted, then that's probably why it didn't come around.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. My first vision board, if I would have kept it, but I did throw it in the trash. But if I would have kept it, you would see nothing on there manifested. Zero. Nothing. Even today, and that's over 10 years later, nothing on that first vision board came to pass, because, like I said, it was not my vision.
Cool. That's a good point.
So, fast forward, though, I've created several other ones that had manifested time and time again. So cool. It's when you know better, you do better. So,
yes. Perfect.
I learned a lot more and understood what it takes. So.
Okay. And then one thing I think, which I think is a special magic ingredient, so people do their vision board or they read The Secret and they think, well, I wanted this and it hasn't come, this stuff doesn't work, it's just like whatever. Other than being true to you, I think the magic ingredient there's two magic ingredients, I think, is belief and then action. What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree, because a vision board to me has come to be more like a goal board.
Yeah.
And so with goals, we all know you have to have action and you have to have an expected time frame. So the same thing with the vision board. Like I don't create my vision without expecting to do some work to get there. So it just makes sense now, but it didn't at the time. And the movie The Secret kind of really left that out.
Yeah.
And some of the self-help books even leave that part out.
Yeah.
They forget to tell you that there's steps you're going to have to take to get to this new level. So
yeah, I think they really left out the belief and the action part. I think it was opening up your eyes to, you can, have these desires and they can come. But then it wasn't like, you really truly have to believe that you will be able to get it. And then, just because it's not there tomorrow, you can't have this doubt. You have to look out for the signs that life throws at you to take action towards getting those goals or those, things you put on the vision board.
Exactly. For example, like if I put on my vision board that I want to have an extra $50,000 in income for that 1 year, let's just say, and God gives me an idea to go do some work to earn that extra money, and I say, well, no, because I'm just expecting $50,000. Well, he gave you the idea. You have to go do the work.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the kind of stuff that they leave out. Like you just expect the genie in the bottle to show up and give you a check for $50,000. And hey, it could happen, but the chances of that are not likely because we don't expect those things to happen that way.
Yeah. I also think it's quite important to be open-minded because in, I think it was Ask and It's Given by Abraham Hicks, that book, or one of their books, they really impress upon the fact of there are so many different ways that the end goal could happen. You can't think about how am I going to get there, like the exact path, because if you're so fixated on that one way of getting it, you're going to miss out the different avenues. And it goes back to like what you were saying about getting the 50,000. You just have to be open-minded, I think, and be aware and be alert to the different signs and then take action on them.
Absolutely. And that's where having the confidence in yourself comes into play as well, because you can't let doubt sabotage every idea that comes in. Like sometimes you just have to go with the flow, like take the idea, run with it, because it could be that one thing that takes you exactly where you're trying to go. So, that old saying that they say, tell God your plan and he'll laugh or something to that effect, because he has a completely different plan for you. Like you have to be open to know that everything is going to work out, everything is going to be good, no matter what. And just do the work. Like just do the work.
The other cool thing I think is that I know when you was launching your first business, you said it was around 10 years ago, but now it's so much quicker and easier for you to market your idea. It's crazy. You can pop open an Instagram account and get instant feedback from people about your idea, be it a product or a service, and it can kind of give you the response to make you feel, okay, is this a viable idea? Should I go ahead with it? Should I not? Whereas, even 10 years ago, it doesn't sound like a long time, but in the internet age, 10 years ago, you had to go and do physical, market research. I mean, there was Facebook 10 years ago, but it was still somewhat new. It wasn't as, e-commerce friendly as it is now. It was still very much about your friends and family.
Yeah, I would definitely say that had I waited to start my business, or at least had social media as we have it today, there's no doubt that business would have been much, much more success. Because pretty much I was in my basement, doing that business alone, and going to the local community colleges and places like that for feedback. And I didn't understand that those people weren't even my market. You know what I mean? So it's just I didn't have that access.
Yeah, the access that you get now.
Nor the confidence. confidence to go do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's definitely been a journey. And all I wanted to do was give light to the world. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, that was my goal. And I just thought, I'm going to launch this business and it's going to be great. While at the same time, I had people in my circle saying, well, why would you do that? Mm-hmm. Why? Who are you?
But what I love is that you took action, and that's what I love. Even though you felt like, okay, I don't have a business degree, or I don't have this contact or that contact, you went and you found the contacts, and like you said, you worked, at home in your basement, and you reached out to people who could help you, and you made those contacts. So that just shows you, how much great business acumen you do have, so those naysayers around you should have been able to see that and congratulate you on that. But you knew it within yourself, which was the most important part.
Yes, so that's what I say. I'm grateful that I did have a certain level of confidence, because had I not, I would not have even moved forward with. I've always had it, but not on the level that I have it now. Because right now there's nothing that anybody could tell me that makes me feel like I'm anything less than great. I mean, if they feel that way, that's their problem, not mine. And that's a mindset shift for sure.
Yeah. So how did you get that? How did you get to that shift, that mindset shift? Specifically, was it vision boards? Was it books? Was it positive affirmations? I know it wasn't like today, tomorrow thing. It was over time. But what do you think was the biggest thing that really helped you with that shift?
I think there was a couple things. First of all, it was reading the books. Mm-hmm. Second of all, actually my relationship with you, my friends. I found a new circle. Yeah. Of people that I entrusted. And for me, affirmations are life. Affirmations mean so much to me because I did have a lot of negative beliefs from childhood that I couldn't shake. Every time I would go up a little bit, those beliefs would whisper in my ear like, you're not that great. You're too short to do that. You're too this. You're not a little, you're not Caucasian. You'll never be successful. It was just everything that you could think of would creep in your mind. So affirmations really, really helped me with that.
And affirmations sorry to cut you, but affirmations for the people who are totally unaware what language we're talking now. We'll just
affirmations are they are daily or repetitive phrases that you say to yourself to boost your confidence. Yeah. So instead of worrying, and whenever I would have a doubtful moment or something, I would have an affirmation or a short phrase that I would say is, for example, my mantra is, everything is going to be okay. Yeah. Everything is always working out for me. And I remove certain words from my vocabulary. I don't say I want to get out of debt. I'm always, instead I'll say something like, abundance is always flowing to me. But I don't say things that I know, because I understand that God does not hear you whether you say debt free. All he hears is debt. So it's a whole process, and I don't want to take up too much time on it because I know it's you gotta. Yeah,
it's a whole it's a whole recording in itself. It's a whole book, whole everything within itself. But it's definitely something to look into, because whether you know it or not, we're affirming things to ourselves anyway. So why not make it a positive affirmation rather than a negative, which a negative would be, oh, I'm so stupid, or, oh, this is killing me, or, oh, this, and, just something that we subconsciously or consciously say to ourselves that isn't doing ourselves any good. So make sure you're following Kristi on her Instagram page, because she does post positive affirmations on there. So we'll give you her details again at the end. So to round up, I want you to tell me your top 5 favorite books that can help with shifting mindsets and all things positivity.
Oh my goodness, 5.
I know. I was going to say 3, but then I knew there was a lot, so that's why I went to 5.
So let's see. My first one, obviously, is The Secret, because it's what started me on this journey.
Yay.
I would say the second would be Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Yay.
The other one is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I never say his name right. Ask and it is Given by Abraham Hicks. Did I say that one already?
No, you didn't. And we just need, I think, one more.
And, oh my gosh, what is that one that I really, really like? The 7 Principles. What is
or the 7 Keys. Oh, which one? Not Deepak Chopra.
No.
7 Keys to Spiritual Success.
7 Habits of Highly Successful People.
Oh, Stephen Covey, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. And
there are more.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I think those are the ones that came to my mind first.
Yeah.
So.
But that's a good mix, because you have like spirituality type of mindset shifting, and then you have actual like, here's what you should do, goal checking type of mindset shifting. So that is actually a good collection. And I'll put like the list of what Kristi, the books that she just recommended, I'll put it in the notes, the show notes as they call it.
And there's one more just as a bonus. The Tipping Point was really, really good.
Oh yeah, I loved The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. I really liked that one. It was
I haven't read that one in a long time.
Yeah, but I still remember some of the points from it. When you have a good book, I just feel like some of the key points always stick with you, and at certain points in time you just remember them and use some of the things that they spoke about. So that's fantastic. Oh my god, it's been so great talking with you, and we have to do this again because there's so much to talk about. But this has just been a little sampler of everything that Kristi is so passionate about and knows like the back of her hand, and is giving you life every day on her Instagram page. So I need you to follow Kristi and just really be in tune with her. So what are your details? How can people get in touch with you?
On social media, just find me at Kristi_Shanks, and that's Kristi spelled with a K and it ends in an I. _Shanks on Instagram. And I also have a website, kissesforinspiredliving.com, and we're going to be combining my websites into one eventually. But for right now, if you follow me on Instagram, will probably be your best. And sign up for my to get on my list. I have an elite group of people that I connect with. So once you go to my Instagram, click the link and subscribe or get on my list, and you'll get all these good details sent right to your email box.
Definitely.
So I would be happy to connect with you guys.
Yay. And you'll definitely want to be signed up to our lists, because we're going to be announcing a great collaboration between us soon that will help everybody who is wanting to shift their mindset and start and grow their business. So if you're trying to do, a mix of both of those, then we've got the thing that is really going to help you. And as a little hint, it's definitely going to help you with the surrounding yourself with like-minded people element of things. So stay tuned to that, and make sure you go over and follow Kristi. Thanks again for listening, and speak to you soon.
Thanks for having me.
That's okay. Speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.